Hello and welcome to yet another episode of The Rubber Match. I'm your host, Seth Weber. With me always, my header life mate, Brian Freeland.
What's going on, y'all?
All right. After the absolute spanking of last week, I've had zero practice, and just gonna run it.
I have not been playing at all. I haven't been playing anything. No. What have I been doing this week?
Should I pull the goalie, or you want to go straight up?
Nah, let's do it straight up. I'm feeling good enough. And then I'm red, right?
Yes.
Not an auspicious beginning. What color am I? I feel like I ask it every week. Let's see. Got back into jiu-jitsu this week. Laying down.
Got him.
Got Cameron started jiu-jitsu this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was very excited about that. I'll just send you a picture. So, it's like a 3 and 4 year olds, which is like pretty adorable. So they start off with like some running and stretches. There you go, goalie. Here, like you have it. I brought it all the way up for you. Running and stretches, and then they do like an obstacle course, and then they learn a couple like actual jiu-jitsu moves. That's gonna be icing. Nope. And then they play like a game, like Duck Duck Goose or Dodgeball or something. So
okay.
There. So yeah, it's pretty quick. It's half an hour, but they're gonna build up to it. And she, jiu-jitsu was probably one of her first 20 words. So I'm pretty excited about it. And we'll see. So she was there was like another kid about her age, and they start with like back takes. So they somebody like basically sits in your lap, and you put your heels in, and then you try to like kick their back, and the person who's in the lap tries to squirm and get away. And it's a pretty good game to like get people like understanding like where you should be and trying to hold somebody else and have them squirm out. Now traditionally, in order to like teach any classes in jiu-jitsu, you have to be like at least a purple belt, which means that you have like 5 or 6 years.
Oh, nice.
You have 5 or 6 years of training under your belt, and I'm like only halfway there. I started 4 years ago, but I took like a 1.5 year break for the most part. So, but yeah, one of these days I think it'd be fun to teach jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I signed Parker up for T-ball, he starts in February. One of the questions they asked when I was signing him up was like, "Do you want to be a coach?" And I was like, "I don't know. I do not." That's the last thing I want to do is have to like deal with other parents and their kids and like what they think should or should not be done.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to something like as like competitive as baseball.
Right. I think, man, I'm woofing it. I think that like when it comes to T-ball, I would pretty feel the same way. When it would like comes to like rugby or field hockey or jiu-jitsu, like something I actually know, I think I would like to sit down there, because then I like to tell other parents like, oh, please let me know of like what level did you play? Yeah, and where did you get your PhD in education? Back the fuck off. That's what I want to tell parents, like when they complain at school about my teaching.
Let me see your.
Yeah.
Let me read your thesis.
Like, oh, did you also read that in Paulo Freire? No? 2? Get the fuck off. This is not a democracy. Yeah, other than that, got back to reading, didn't game at all. Watched Tar last night.
Which?
Oh, he woofed it.
God damn it.
Tar? Directed by Todd Field. Tar. T-A-R.
Okay.
It's like, but the A is accented. With Kate Blanchett, who, although I have not seen all the performances and the nominations have not been announced, I am already predicting that she's going to win Best Actress. Just a phenomenal movie. It is. She plays a conductor, and because of choices she makes, things go bad in her life. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes, but it's probably going to get a Best Picture nod, I would think.
Okay.
So yeah, it's on. I rented it on Amazon on Prime. I was really impressed with it. So. But yeah, it's long.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I've been wanting to check out. I've been hearing Bobby Lee keeps talking about Triangle of Sadness.
Oh yeah.
And he keeps saying it's like the best movie, and so I've been meaning to rent that to check it out.
Have you seen that director's other movies?
I haven't. I looked at his other stuff, and I was like, I don't think I'm familiar with this guy's stuff.
Yeah, so he did Force Majeure, and they made that terrible remake of it with Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Will Ferrell. About the avalanche. Yeah. And so I didn't see Force Majeure, but I saw The Square, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
So I was when I heard that Triangle of Sadness was coming out and I saw the cast and I knew the director. I've been pretty excited about it. So maybe I'll watch that. I know. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. Somebody want to get that? Oh.
Yeah, I haven't been watching or really playing much of it. I played like a little bit of Fortnite. But other than that, like the loins of cedar trees have opened up and they've released all of their spores into the air. And it's horrendous right now. And so I try to keep my eyes closed as much as I can because they just burn otherwise.
Man.
I think I'm gonna have to go get a steroid shot this week because there's no way I can continue to do this.
That's terrible.
It's really bad. Really bad. So I took Parker on a play date just a little bit ago, and I had to wear a mask and wore my sunglasses the whole time, hoping that I would keep it out of my system.
Yeah, I'd say a mask and some ski goggles or something.
Yeah, I know. I need something sort of some chemistry goggles.
Casey and I went out. So we this is our third date in this. In as many months. I think our second date this month. But we had friends back in Salem. One friend in particular was having just a bunch of people, and they were meeting at a bar, and we're like, okay, well, let's get a hotel, and we had my sister-in-law come down and stay with Cameron at another hotel a tenth of a mile away, so we're really close. But I don't really drink anymore, and I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, I used to get after it.
A
little bit.
I say that kind of defined a side of your personality.
Yeah, for sure. But I think I had had maybe one beer since August. And then, typically I might have a few more or a weekend in the summer. but again, like nothing crazy. I had like between 8 and 10 drinks in a 7-hour period. So really not crazy.
Yeah, a little over 1 an hour.
Right. And I'm like, 240. But I'm always like, pretty cognizant, like what would happen if like I did get a phone call, and kind of cases that way too. So, and half of those drinks were beers. I think I had and probably the other half, like I had 4 or 5 cocktails, and again, like within that time period. But I still feel like this was Friday night. I still feel like shit today. Like I'm like at 65%. And yesterday, like because that's not our life anymore. Casey and I are both like that. We're like let's dial it in. We don't love to do this, but Cameron's gonna watch some movies. But yeah, and I'll be honest. We had fun, but I do not miss it. And that was like a big part of my life for a long time.
Yep.
So, now it's welcome to my 40s. This kind of stuff. Like I haven't honestly had or felt a hangover in probably 3 years. Because having a hangover with a toddler is the worst.
Yeah, that's the hangover cure right there.
Yeah, have kids.
Don't want that.
So and even so it's I was telling Casey, I do not miss this. I mean, we have a full liquor cabinet, and we have beers in the fridge because for Christmas, and this was like the last time I had a beer for Christmas. I don't really celebrate Christmas, but it also happens to be Jimmy Buffett's birthday. I do celebrate that.
Yeah, well, that's understandable.
So, damn it. So every year I make cheeseburgers in paradise, and I had 1 beer with dinner, and that was my 1 beer from August. And then it's like 5 months later. Let's have nice. I don't even know how that's done. Yeah.
That's really hard.
Oh, all right. Let's see. So I have a period left. Let's go. So, it does kind of make me wonder. I mean, I knew my dad, like, never drank. I think I've seen him have, like, 2 glasses of wine in my entire life. And my mom has an allergy to alcohol, so she doesn't really drink either.
Oh, interesting.
So I never really had growing up. But I remember your dad had a bar.
Oh yeah, no, he had a bar. He had a beer can collection.
That's right.
He had. I'd probably say he had an addiction that ended in esophageal cancer. That is ultimately definitely what ended up killing him. So yeah, it was one of those things where like it never really appealed to me. And I think I didn't growing up I didn't think my dad was necessarily an alcoholic, but I do remember at one point when I was older, like looking in his room and finding like a handle of vodka somewhere and being like, well, that's not normal. Like, why is he hiding this? Like, there's probably a problem here. And at that point I was just kind of like, yeah, like I'm probably genetically predispositioned to this, so I'm just going to not mess with it.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't believe me, though. Like, did I ever tell you that? Like, he came down here for my 21st birthday, because that was, like, my first birthday down here.
Yeah.
And we were at dinner, and he, like, ordered a drink, and he put it in front of me, and I was like, I don't drink. And he was like, yeah, right. And I was like, no, I don't. I really don't. And he was like, come on now. Like, And I was like, seriously? He's like, just drink it. And I was like, okay. I think I'd be peer pressured by my dad, but okay.
Right.
And I'm like, this is awful. Like, I don't like the taste of alcohol, like, at all. Like, I never have.
Yeah.
And I've tried to find things. Like, I've never done like the kids in the hall, like girl drink drunk.
Right.
Like, I've never tried any of those types, but I've always tried like different types of beers and ciders and things. And like usually the first sip, I'm like, okay, that's not bad. And then the second sip, I'm like, all I taste is alcohol. It's not. Yeah. This is not appealing to me at all.
That reminds me that on your graduation day, there were like a couple of us like standing around, and your dad comes over to us to give a talk. He's like, and I was like, "There's beer here." It was like they like pointed to like Josh. He's like, "I don't want to see you drink." And he pointed to Brad. "I don't want to see you drink." And he looked at me. He's like, "You're okay." And I was like, "Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Weber."
I think there was a point where like
wait, did you pull your goalie?
I did. I pulled it for one.
Oh, okay.
There was a point where I think when we had been filming something, like that cop thing that like me and Mike and John had been making for a long time.
Yeah.
And we had had like a pack of cigarettes in the back of my car, and he had seen them in my back seat and assumed that I was a smoker or something, and had been hiding it from them. And then just like made this story in his head about like all the stuff that I was doing. And so he just didn't believe me whenever I told, like, I remember them getting really upset about me having fireworks in my car.
Oh,
and I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't have any fireworks in my car. And they were like, I saw Don't Lie to Us. And it was like a Squirrel Nut Zipper CD. And I was like, is this what you guys are so mad about? And like, they just got kind of quiet and like, well, you still shouldn't have any fireworks in your car. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, when I think about all the stuff I had in my car, like I have a machete in my car right now.
But I mean, like for all the things that like they would seemingly assume that I was doing, I was like, you have no idea what I have access to that I just haven't done. Like you should be much happier about where I currently. Ooh, that was a pass to you, and you put it in for me.
Is that really? I mean, I'm not going to be surprised. Yes,
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Let's see here. Who has it? I have it. Oh, there you go.
Slammed it in.
It's always good for 1 week.
Yeah. I was never really. It never really appealed to me, and even like I said, like times that I've tried, it's been like, nah, it's not for me. That's why I have really enjoyed like the Delta 8 stuff. Like that's the first time where I've actually been like, oh, this is something I can like actively enjoy some like partially mind altering things.
Yeah, and it's funny because like that's where I'm like the exact opposite. Like anything with like THC, not for me. Like I've tried it, and other people are like, well, what about like this strain and this blend and indica and sativa and this and that? I was like, every time I try this, I don't enjoy myself, and like there's no point. Like, so yeah, and people are like, oh, I didn't get it, but you know, give me some mushrooms any day of the week, and I'm great.
I had a question because you had sent me those AI images.
Yeah.
Where do you fall on that thing? Because like obviously like everybody was like going crazy with those like a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And then like it's seemingly, I mean like it's been around for a little bit, but it feels like it's really stepped up recently. And like I know at work, like our writers are like looking into leveraging AI stuff for writing, which is wild. Like I never thought that like I thought AI would come about and allow us to focus more on creative endeavors, and here they are like That's one of the first things that people are using them for, is to like generate creative things. And I'm kind of like, well, this seems backwards. But there's also a lot of like sort of uproar about it stealing work and not attributing things that it's using as a reference.
Yeah. So here's how I feel about it. I think that like whenever new technology is introduced, there is a cry of like, oh, this is going to steal jobs or take work, or we should, pay other people for it. So I had those avatars created, and I think the argument at the time for those avatars is like, it takes money away from, I could be having my portrait done by like a real artist. Guess what? That's never happened. I can't.
Yeah. Are you actually going to do that?
And I was never going to do that, and can't afford that anyway. But for $5, I can get like 100 digital images.
Yeah.
So I don't see it taking any work away. Now, other people complain that there was copyrighted content, that it kind of like read all these images that other artists have done and like copied their likeness. Well, every artist in history like studied the masters, and reproduced it and learned to divulge their own thing. So I'm not really buying that either. And here's the other thing. Like, I don't know, for example, when the printing press came out, it said, now we're going to like lose. Oh my God. That was just blatant. I can't even believe that happens. So, it was going to take away the job of scribes, of people who it was to like, copy these texts by hand. But like, maybe it did, but then more people were employed for operating a printing press, or needed to like manufacture parts for a printing press, or
I get that argument from I get that argument from like a that's not necessarily like creative work. And I mean, I guess neither necessarily is the image creation or like writing. Like it still needs someone feeding it like what it is to put together, and then you're going to need someone to like edit it afterwards, or like, clean up the image afterwards, because they're, clearly everybody has problems with fingers, because AI does too. This goalie earned his paycheck right now.
I know.
Jesus Christ, there it is. I don't know. I feel like from the art perspective, I feel like it's a great place to like jump off from. Like, the fact that I can't draw at all, and I could theoretically get something that like I'm happy enough with, that I could take to an artist and be like, I want this feel, or I want like
for sure,
this look, or this angle, whatever it is. If I can get the right combination of words. Like I don't necessarily agree with like outright selling AI art. Like that doesn't feel like. I mean, I've seen stuff that's cool. I don't think I've seen anything that I'd actively pay for. Took a piss on that pole. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like we're kind of at this weird crossroads. And I think it's because creative services is probably the last place where they thought that would show up.
Mm-hmm.
I think they thought like, oh, that'll be something that like, fast food workers or whatever will have to deal with before it ever comes to us. Like they're not going to be able to create a movie or piece of art or write something. And then they're like, wait a minute, you did what now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, at the rate that we're consuming media right now, of course they like decided that was going to be someplace they were going to focus.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think it seems pretty alarmist to me. And also, like, art doesn't work by rules. People are going to be like, hey, I have an idea of, like, what we can do with this. And, like, that idea or wherever it goes is creativity, is the creative process at work.
Yeah.
So, I I understand it, and I was like, okay, if you need to say real artists should be paid for their work, great, say it. But I don't think that it's going to really change behavior a whole lot. But like, sure, shout it out if virtue signaling makes you feel better. I think the reality is like, there's like behavior, and people are going to create, and they're going to find new ways to create.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oof. Get out of here. All right. Come on, D. Stop. Every time I try to pass, they're like, just let me. I feel like I'm blind passing. Like, get somebody over there. I wish there was like a smaller. I wish there was like a smaller screen so that I could see
so you can see the full ice. Yeah.
Yeah. See the full ice and see where other people are. A lot of my snuck around. A lot of my students, they talk about playing 2K.
Yeah.
Football. Okay.
Probably basketball.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they. I think Madden has an exclusive license on football.
Okay.
They used to do football, and they had a really good football game. Like their ESPN 2K football game was really good. But then Madden, like EA, got the exclusive license, and they went away.
Okay. All right. Well,
I tried playing Call of Duty the other day. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I put Call of Duty in there, and I played like one round, and I was like, nope, this is exactly what I remember it being. I don't want anything to do with it. Goodbye.
Do you remember the hours we used to play GoldenEye at Willis's house?
Oh yeah.
Ugh. I think after senior prom, that's what we did for hours. That's what happens when I go stag. It was my choice. I'm pretty sure it was my choice.
Oh.
Yeah. That is one of my. Oh, you're up too. All right.
Yep.
Doable. That's doable.
Yep.
One of the things I would like to do this year, I've never been to a professional basketball game, so I would like to go to a Celtics game.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. I'd like to do that. And in case you'd be down for that, so which is cool. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Is there a movie or show? Something that's coming out like tonight? Is there a release of something tonight? Oh, is it The Last of Us? Is The Last of Us premiere tonight?
That is January, and it was coming up. I thought it was like the 13th. It could be tonight. It is within the next week or so.
And they typically release their content on Sundays, right?
Yeah, they're sort of like they're big about their sort of flagship stuff being Sunday released. What the?
Wow! How did that happen? How did that happen?
What just happened there?
What?
All right, from the blue line.
Over.
Shot.
Off the back.
Hit the glass.
Oh,
bounced off my head.
The back of the
in?
goalie. Yep,
wow.
Hit the back of the goalie. Bounced in.
Wow. All right. 5:43.
Okay, let's go. Yeah. So I did start watching Jack Ryan, but I'm only like the second episode in. But I'm kind of a sucker. I'm kind of a sucker.
The gym one?
Yeah. Yeah. The John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Jack Ryan. Yeah. Damn it.
I've been missing that all game.
Fourth.
I missed it all last week. That's the first one-timer that I've gotten in 2 weeks. These passes have not been coming off like they had been. Oh, damn.
Damn it. Get to it. We're both, like, you can tell, like, we're both focused. Oh,
yeah.
Right off the end of my stick. Yeah.
Ooh.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those wins that I had gotten in Fortnite on the Switch were because I was either playing against bots or because it started a new user for me. So like I was low level enough that I was with low level people that it was really easy. Because then I think it jumped me up high enough to where I was like, oh no, this is what I remember. I did get a couple like fourth places and fifth places, but it was still like that win on the PS4 has eluded me.
Yeah.
Except for my trios win, but it's still still a good time.
Well, my mom's coming up to visit later this week. So I think we're still good for next Sunday, but I would, and it's been a couple of years from Fortnite, so I want to see. I want to. Yeah, it was fun. It's been a couple of years now since what was it? You, John, and I were running around.
Yeah. Didn't we also do some No Man's Sky together? I know I did with John for a little bit because we got chased by like a giant monster thing.
Yeah, I got on with you once. I don't know if I got on with you and John. Oh man, I don't know. It's pretty doubtful this is gonna happen.
Yeah, 25-second 3 goals. There's one.
There's one.
There's two.
Oh man. Well, there were some good replay moments here tonight.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah. So yeah, now I'm real curious about Last of Us. Then did you ever play the second game?
I didn't, and I know I've read something too that said that like, while they stayed mostly true to the first game, like they definitely made some changes. But it's also like with the guy from Naughty Dog is like actively working on it, so like I have I feel good about that. Okay. I'm also really interested in sort of Nick Offerman in that role, that Bill role.
Yeah. You know what? I can see that. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I was pretty all right with the casting.
Yeah. It seems pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm curious because I played the second game, and I think I was doing a replay. I got maybe a halfway or a third of the way through a replay. I was like, I don't want to do this right now. I do want to come back to it, but it definitely furthers the story. So I am, and in a really compelling way, in a way that complicates the characters. Like I think it's an excellent follow-up. So I'm curious to see how much, because this is a different medium, because this for like a series, how much elements of the second game would get teased into a first episode, into a first season of a show.
Yeah,
like I'm see it move around. So we'll see. I mean, I think everyone has said like they're hoping that this can break the video game to screen curse.
Yeah.
So they haven't done it super well.
We'll see.
Anyway, well, hey,
yep.
I got 2 last week, you got 2 this week. So
still looking for our balance this year.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
I need to go back to playing Tomb Raider or something, I guess. That's going to do me right last week.
It did, yeah, for sure. All right, we will see you all on the next episode of the Rubber Match. Bye, y'all.
Take care, y'all.